Good morning, my chippy hippies. It's Tammy coming to you live for Wake and Bake. I'm fresh out of the shower. Oh, freshly waked, freshly baked, apparently. Just like everything I do, freshly baked. I am starting to truly feel like myself again. Finally. So, do me a favor as you jump on here this morning. It is more fun with friends. I see one of you watching. Say hello and tell me where you're watching from. A couple of things I ask you to do to help me out. It costs you nothing. Number one, if you are on my business page, you can give this a share. You can do below what it says. Good morning, like Heather just said. Good morning from chilly Toledo, Ohio. It is also a little chilly in Farmville, Virginia this morning, but we're gonna warm back up till about 8. You're gonna tell us hello and where you're watching from. You're gonna drop us a grateful fed in the comments. Hashtag grateful fed. And then you're gonna throw me some thumbs up, some hearts, or some faces, right? Or some laughs or whatever you want to give me. Just not the mean face. That makes me sad. So it is Monday morning, September the 26th, 2022. We are awake and we are baked. We are getting baked. It is Monday, and most of the time on Monday, I find myself working um, on my business and not in my business. And if that makes sense to anybody, give me some thumbs up. If it doesn't make sense, I'm going to explain it. So as an entrepreneur, right? As an entrepreneur, some things that you have to do is like you just can't make all the sweet treats and hope to goodness that somebody finds them. You also have to do the marketing and the website and the accounting and the bill paying and the grocery shopping and the design ideas and the social media and all of that, right? So Mondays are the day that I spend doing everything pretty much but baking. Like it's all of the admin stuff, all of the like planning that I kind of do, like what's my week look like. I kind of sit down and really make a game plan of what's going to happen with Hometown Hippie Elevated Edibles week to week, and I do it on Mondays. And I got into that habit because, as you know, if some of you've been around for a little while, before the peaceloveandfeast.com, we honestly had a weekly Google form. And every week I'd update that form. And Monday mornings I would go in and I would sit down and I would invoice everybody. I'd spend my whole Monday. Yes, retreat planning. Yes, that is exactly one of the things that we do today. I've got that meeting from 12 to 2 today. And, it's interesting because we're getting very close. And up until now, my part's kind of been easy. It's kind of been like, hey, have you paid for your retreat yet? And, we just finished ordering all the supplies and, we did all of that together. And now Carly's been working all the content for that retreat. And I am now getting ready to do all of the shopping and menu prepping and all the things in the next couple of weeks for retreat with breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 3 days for 21 women. It's going to be super fun. I am I'm ready this week to kind of get back into some kind of a normal routine. Um, as many of you know, I have been struggling since last Friday with a kind of a funk. And honestly, today I feel a lot better today than I did yesterday, and a lot better yesterday than I did the day before. So I feel like every day now it's really making some headway, and I'm close to being completely and 100% back to myself. I still have a little sluggishness. I feel better. Like I can feel that I'm feeling better. I also got some Mucinex yesterday, and I think that really made the difference because that stuff moved some junk. But we're here for Wake and Bake. We are here to talk about my shine is coming back. That is probably miracle oil. I put some healing oil on my face this morning. It's one of my favorite things. But I appreciate that very much. I also just medicated when I got on here this morning, so I'm a little like my cheeks are a little bit in my eyes as well. But I really didn't have a whole lot of anything prepared this morning. But you know how God does, how Source do. Sometimes they move in different ways for you to give you different topics to talk about. And I always say I just want to be a clear and perfect channel for the messages that they want to provide. And it's interesting because what I found was when I was sick, I did a lot of introspective and a lot of my internal shine. Yeah, I know what you meant. I was being silly. Me. I gotta deflect that compliment with something silly. But yeah, my internal shine is coming back a little bit. I am still like, it's really strange, and this is good. Can anybody else relate to this? And somebody might be able to help me with this. Since I have been sick, since last Friday, um, keeping my eyes open has been the hardest thing to do. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but if I can sit in my chair, like I have a little recliner out there, and since I've been sick, the best I felt is if I'm sitting in that chair with my eyes closed, like right now with my eyes closed, I feel super safe and comfortable. And I don't know where that is coming from. Does anybody have any thoughts on that nonsense? I can't answer that question because I don't know. I just know that for some reason it's been very difficult to keep my eyes open. Even talking, I was talking to Ray. He's like, "Why are you sleeping talking to me?" And I'm like, "I'm not." He's like, "Well, open your fucking eyes. It's rude." I'm like, "I'm sorry." I was like, "It's like light or something." It's just my eyes being shut have been like super, like, I don't know, like it makes me feel better. It like feels better. I don't know. It's super strange. But I'm trying to have my, they say, what is that saying, eyes wide shut, I guess. And something just told me to write that down in a journal about it later. So, again, you never know how Source is going to react. To write down eyes wide shut, and I'll come back and journal on that later. Well, it's been funny, Heather, and I'm gonna, we always say we never know what we're gonna talk about till we talk about it, and that just came in interestingly enough. But one of the things that I've been told this entire month, actually the last probably 6 weeks, has been to keep my blinders on, and that to not look to the side, not look for, just to keep my head down and to keep working. And I wonder if that's some of that is it's a way for like what's like a literal sense of what I'm supposed to be doing. And so because I won't figuratively listen to it and pay attention to what I'm doing, maybe God is like, okay, well, I'm going to make you actually close your eyes so you can't see that nonsense. You never know. Could be. It could be nothing more than the fact that I'm still kind of tired and it's weak and my eyes are closed. And I can take a deep breath. But honestly, when I close my eyes, when I close my eyes anymore, it's maybe a focus thing. It makes me feel comfortable. But when I close my eyes, it instantly invokes, like when I close my eyes, it instantly invokes this like giant breath, and it's like a reset for me. So maybe today, if you are struggling with maybe things feeling a little overwhelming, maybe if you're feeling a little bit too, overstimulated, oh, okay, I love it. I need to get a deck of that. Maybe I'll put that on my birthday list for my sister or something. It feels good to do it. Yeah, if it feels good, do it, right? And that's what happens when I close my eyes. It invokes that breath, that reset breath. So I was going to say, if any of you today are struggling with overwhelm, with anxiety, with depression, because I know a lot of us struggle with that, right? And we utilize, good morning, Billy, good morning, Sheila. We utilize our medicine, our cannabis, our green medicine, our plant based medication. We utilize that for things like pain, anxiety, insomnia, depression, a multitude of other conditions, right? A lot of us, neuropathy, you name it, it can be helped for that. But so many of us today are living in a world that is a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? Can I get a hallelujah, amen, if you think the world is a teensy tiny bit right now, a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And it really, really, really matters for us to be cognizant of our breaths, right? Of being able to stop and pause. And I talk about cannabis all the time, like whether you smoke it, or you eat it, you tincture it, however you capsules, topicals, however you use your plant-based medicine, right? I want you to think about that, right? I want you to think about the fact that it helps, but it helps you also to get some perspective. And I talked about this the other day, talk about this all the time. It's called a pattern interrupt, right? If I'm having a no good, terrible, very bad day, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? It's so sad, right? But whenever we are struggling, like maybe we've watched the news, or maybe we've heard sirens down the street, or maybe we've just gotten off social media, or maybe we've gotten off the phone with a relative or a friend, or who knows, whatever else stimulates your anxiety, right? Whatever stimulates your anxiety. Maybe you're just in the house and your family is losing their mind. It's just too loud, too noisy, and things are happening. And you need a little woosah, right? Maybe it's like, okay, you know what? I got to go smoke. Anybody ever? It's like, I need a break. I need a moment to me. And a lot of times, like whenever we had Evan at home, whenever he was a kid, I did not smoke around Evan. It was illegal federally, so we were very much, it was very much a keep it on the down low kind of thing. And I will go back to that. Right? I would go to the bathroom. So if I've had a moment, I'd take like a bathroom break, and I would put my towel under the door. I would put my blow tube in the bathroom, which if you're young and don't know what a blow tube is, you take a paper towel holder or a toilet paper holder and you stuff dryer sheets and paper towels down into it, and you blow your smoke into it to like diffuse the smell. I did it through high school. I did it through college so that my parents wouldn't smell it, or my roommates. And as an adult, I did it with my kids. Kind of sad, I know. But no matter what it might be, maybe it's running to the bathroom, maybe it's just sitting on the couch and packing a bowl. But I want you to think about that process if you do that. Do you do that? Yes or no? Do you ever like have to pattern interrupt with a smoke break? Anybody have to do that? Or maybe go grab an edible. For me, it's a smoke break when I need to regroup and like take a time out and things are too much. Like, okay. I literally, it's the entire process of finding my bowl, making sure it's cleaned out, getting fresh, because I have a bubbler. Like I have a bubbler, so I water filtrate everything. I don't like to smoke straight smoke through my chest. I've used to smoke bong it exclusively. And then I got a bubbler so I can carry it around just because I was like a frat boy carrying my bong around the house all day long. It's the ritualistic part of it, right? It's the ritual part of the pattern interrupt. It's an ability to stop what you're doing and get out of that stinking thinking. Because for that moment, you can't think about all the terrible, no good, very bad things. Because you're thinking about you got to pay attention. You don't want to waste your bud. You're cleaning your bowl. You're getting the things out. You're taking time to focus your energy on something else, right? And that's why I say that as a medicine, it's a mindset as a medical miracle, right? As well as once you inhale and you get you get the smoke and you get the medicine and going into your system, right? You can unwind and do all those things. But when you first go to do it, think about it. It's the ritualistic stopping and pattern interrupting that stinking thinking to go think about something else. And you have the ability to do that with all things. When you are talking shitty to yourself, right? When you go I'm the world's worst for needing some new clothes and going to the store to go get some clothes. Now, I very rarely, and this is why I very rarely do this, is because of the way that I treat myself when I go try on clothes. I order a lot of stuff offline for clothes and just order it either maybe a size larger than I think I need just to make sure it fits. Only because I go to a store to buy clothes, right? And I go into the dressing room and I try clothes on. And I get very disappointed with myself, right? It's not often that, I get up in the morning and I look at myself in the mirror and I say, I love you, Tammy. I love you. You're worthy. I love you. But I tend to look myself dead in the eyes anymore, right? I tend to look myself dead in the eyes. I don't take that moment to look at all of the imperfections of my body.
But when I'm in that dressing room mirror at the store,
It seems like I can see every that mirror. I'm thinking it's the I think that mirror in the dressing rooms is just honestly how I feel about it.
I feel that, see this? um,
I feel that there's a lot of bad energy put into those mirrors because of the amount of like self-loathing that women put into themselves.
we have no problem talking shitty to ourselves. So I feel like those mirrors are the saddest mirrors on the planet because nobody ever goes,
I look amazing in this. People walk into that dressing room, they're like, ugh. When they look good, they're like, hey, look at this. What do y'all think about this one? But
whenever they're looking in that mirror, those are the places that they don't show anybody how it looks.
that's the
That's the mirror that gets to see like the I've gained some weight.
weight. I'm not a size 14 anymore. I need to go buy the size 16 jeans, and you get that,
You know, uh, and you get to see the sweatiness when you're trying to put on a shirt that doesn't fit.
and you're trying to take it off without ripping it, so you don't have to buy the thing that doesn't fit, and then tell them you bought it because you were too fat for it. Y'all know if you're a woman watching me, you know what I'm talking about.
I never try on in stores. I eyeball it. The only reason that I will go to a store to buy it
Is if I'm gonna try it on. Right? So it's really weird for me. If I go to a store, I feel like I have to try it on. It was a big thing for my mom and I. Like she's like, if you're gonna go here, why are you gonna waste the gas to come back and just see if it fits and if you like it before you spend the money? So if I actually take myself physically shopping for clothes to a store, trying it on, trying every piece of it on.
and it's that pattern interrupt, right? It's that pattern interrupt. And
I got on that topic for the fact of the mirror, right? Because it's the same pattern you have to interrupt when you're thinking to yourself, right? I'm just telling y'all the truth. I was in a dressing room a couple of weeks ago, and I was noticing.
um, I have a complex about getting undressed in a public place. I get that. We all have our things,
Right? We all have our things. Um, and I never even tried the clothes on, y'all.
I never even tried the clothes on. I was standing there and I had a bunch of stuff
I wanted to try on. I was down to my bra and my underwear, and I had on my granny panty underwears, right? And I had on my granny bra. Like I was just like comfortable. And I just
thought, honestly, like I didn't try anything on
because I stood there so long
just looking at myself and
trying, and I just did what Heather said, right? She said, I try to find one thing every day that I love about myself. And I was like, I've looked myself in the eyes a lot.
I was like, now let's look at all this. And I'm like, for almost 50 years old, I'm like, I've got some problem areas,
in my opinion. But I'm like, you know what? I need to love my body. I have a lot of scars from surgeries.
Good morning, Marty. Good morning, Melanie.
But I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm still moving forward. I was like, as much as my body has at times been
probably my best alarm clock ever. Anybody else can agree with that? Like,
I have honestly at this moment, as far as organs go, I have had everything removed
organ wise, that they could remove without having to put one back. I guess I could give a kidney because you only need one of those.
You have to have one of those. I have no appendix. I have no tonsils. I have no gallbladder. I have no thyroid. Half of the thyroid's missing.
I've had knee surgeries. I've had hand surgeries.
I've had more surgeries than you can shake a stick at. Oral surgeries like crazy.
Um, but I'm like, but my body, I'm like, as much as I want to be mad at it
for not looking cute in a size 3 dress
that I think is adorable, I was like, my body
carries me through this world every single day. My body helps me to create amazing foods for people. My body allows me to give these big, amazing mom hugs, right? This body has helped me to absorb all of the things that was probably meant to take me off of this planet. And it said, you know what? Hell no, not today, Satan, not today.
And I looked at my body in that mirror, right?
And a pattern interrupted the normal ooh, right? And I was like, eh.
And that is a lot of what we need to do in this world today.
We need to do a lot more pattern interrupting whenever the world is crazy, because right now it's crazy. And I did not know we were going here today. Did not know where we were going with this today, but I just let it come out. But
As we talk about over anxious, right?
Over anxious and being able to pattern interrupt and maybe sit down and pack your bowl, right? Being in the dressing room and having the ability to look at your body and versus having all the negative thoughts, pattern interrupting that stinking thinking with positive thoughts about how the affirmations of your body matter. Because if I didn't look at myself in the mirror every day and look myself in the eyes and say, I love you for who you are, I love you for who you're not, I love you for everything in between. And that's cool, right? That's cool to gang with me. And maybe, and just maybe, the closing of the eyes, right? And the deep breath is pattern interrupting something that I have not even figured out yet. Maybe it is pre-interrupting. Maybe the pattern has not begun yet, and my body is allowing me to stop whatever is getting ready to start with a simple gesture of closing my eyes and taking a deep breath. One of the things that I do, and I want to share this with y'all because that's what I'm here to do, right? I share woo woo and weed. That's what I tell you all the time. I have my talismans over here, which I have a set of earrings, I have a necklace, and I have all my Reiki infused bracelets. They all have different meanings for each thing. And one of the things that I do when I put my earrings on is I was like, hey, your ears are connected to your throat chakra, right? And I say I have two ears and one mouth, which means I should listen twice as much as I speak. And I ask that God make me a clear and perfect channel and allow me to hear the things that I am supposed to hear, to shield me from the things that I am not supposed to hear, and to be able to give me the ability to use my voice in a way that speaks to the people who listen to it and the people that hear my voice. I want to be a clear and perfect channel for the messages that Source wants me to give. And I also ask to protect me from seeing things I don't need to see, and to make sure that I have the vision to see the things that I need to see, and keep me from seeing the things that I don't. And the thing, y'all know that one of my intuitive skill sets comes in the form of little blurbs, right? I'll hear something and it'll give me like today it's movies usually, right? And it's a lot of times it's Harry Potter, but today I want to ask you a question. Have you all ever seen the movie The Blind Side? Has anybody here ever seen the movie The Blind Side? Yes or no? It's got Sandra Bullock, Tim McGraw. It's about the Michael Orr, who was a young black gentleman who, growing up in Tennessee on the wrong side of the tracks, was homeless, was taken in by the Toohey family, and he became it's just a story. It's one of those movies that I could watch over and over and over again because it just makes my heart grow 3 sizes. And what I just heard was, how did you get through it? He just closed his eyes. And as he was told by his mom in that movie, like whenever things would happen to him, he would just close his eyes and he would not watch. And when she asked him, how did you get through it? How did you get out of those situations? He told the story about how his mother, when he was a little kid, when she was doing drugs and doing bad things to get drugs, or somebody was beating on him or whatever, that if he closed his eyes, that when he opened his eyes, everything would be okay. And just to close his eyes, and he said, I just closed my eyes and I didn't see it. And that is, it's making me wonder a little bit about whenever the last couple of weeks, sometimes even out of illness and things like that, you get these little pieces of treasure that you can take with you as you go forward. And, I've not understood why I've had to close my eyes lately, but apparently it's important. And so today I'm going to tell you this, okay? Today I'm going to say all that to say this. If you're struggling today, because I know a lot of you are, a lot of us are, right? We've had, one of the things that I'm my closing of the eyes, that's probably why I'm doing it. I have gotten a lot of messages in regards to my finances are shit right now. I want to support you, but I can't because I'm broke. Inflation is catching up with people. I've had conversations with people about. Um, I mean, we've had a Grateful Fed family member. They lost everything. Their house burnt down. Amanda and Amanda is a good, faithful, Grateful Fed customer client, um, newly married, beautiful young girl. My heart breaks for them. They lost their pets. You know, like things can be replaced, but your pets, right? She lost her animals, and they were like, it's just a lot. So I was able to donate a little money. I'm going to put together some housewares. I'm going to put together a box of edibles and flour for them. They buy that. They're right now they're struggling to find somewhere to live and replace their life, but I still want to make sure they have their medicine. So when y'all donate to things like the Grateful Fed Fund, when y'all shop with me, when you do all the things you do to support my business, I want you to know that those are the things that I do. Like I want to make sure that I'm paying it forward and I'm supporting other people as well. They didn't ask. They did not ask me, and that's another big thing, right? They didn't ask. I'm gonna do a little something for them. Um, um, I've had some people who are going through some relationships ending. I've got some people who have lost their jobs. I've had some people who their landlords are selling their houses out, their rental properties out from under them right now, and with the rental market in our area, and they're homeless. Um, and sometimes it's a lot. And as an empath, I'm learning to be able to help people from an impersonal love kind of way, where I can't absorb it all. And that's what I think made me sick. Is that and I don't want y'all to stop sharing. I don't want you to stop asking. This is what we're here for. It is not your responsibility, right? And honestly how I feel about it. It is my responsibility to protect my energy. It is my responsibility to not to absorb it all. I told Red that. He's like, you have to. I was like, you have to draw the line. I'm like, no. Everybody in the world has to live their life, right? And you can ask the question. I want you to continue to ask the question. I want you to continue to be engaged. It's not about that. It is about my responsibility to me to control my energy and your responsibility to you to control your energy. We all have to protect our energy, right? And we help how we can and we step up how we can. But I'm going to tell you this. Heather Johns will probably attest to this. I know she's still watching. When you protect your energy, when you put your energy suit on, when you go through the process of doing that, when you stay to your rituals, right? When you take some time to, like we talk about, be clear and calm and centered and connected, right? When you take the time to take a little moment and call in your angels, guides, and helpers, call in that white source energy from the heavens and ask it to come in and protect your energy, you are able to be of so much more service. When you have protected your energy and you are working with all cylinders. Because like Marty Bulliard just says, you cannot draw from an empty well. And when you're not taking those steps to protect your energy, when you're not taking those steps to close your eyes, you don't want to be okay, you need to stop. When you're not taking the time to pattern interrupt stinking thinking, just like we talk about, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? We say you cannot draw from an empty well. What the power that you have when you can pour from an endless energy supply, which is that life force or that chi energy. When the energy that you're using to help others is not your energy, but God energy, is divine energy. And that's what happens. You get that that surge of energy and strength and ability to help when you take care of you.
When you show yourself
the love that you deserve, you are blessed with an endless source
of God energy, because you know that you don't have to pour from your cup. You can draw from that life force chi energy
and help so many people, right? There you go, right? We are not the power alone.
We need the ritual, we need the guidance, and we need to embrace the process to be good for the masses. And when we do is we connect
Our energies. We become versus being this separate thing, right? Sitting over here on an island. It's all about the connection. It's about the collective energy. Where I am weak, you are strong, and we combine our energies. We are so much better. So, as the leader of the Grateful Fed, right? As your fearless leader,
um, I want y'all to know that I am getting my shine back. I am
taking some time to pattern interrupt, whether it be to sit down and to pack my bowl and to take a moment and to take a deep breath when things are getting overwhelming. A lot of times in the last couple of weeks, I have not allowed myself, before I got sick, I had not allowed myself to even like stop for a moment. Not even stop for a moment. I have hands here working, and I'm like, oh, that's a hot pan. Let me get it from you. And Sina's like, Tammy, I'm 35 years old. I'm here to handle the hot pans. I'm like, I don't want you to get burnt.
Right?
So I had not been practicing what I preach, and that's exactly what it is, right? And it's interesting because Carly and I were talking about the word preacher and teacher, and how I told her I feel like a preacher and I feel like she's a teacher. Like I feel like our roles are very much defined, and because I love to orate and talk and all the things. And then I thought about it over this time of being ill, and I'm like, when you are not practicing, when you are just saying it out loud, you are a fucking preacher, right? You're preaching.
When you are telling people, when you are banging on the pulpit,
and you are pointing at people, pointing like this, right? I say, I do this, right? But whenever you are up in front of a crowd of people and you're orating or speaking to them,
and you are living that life, and you are just telling them and just sharing your lived experiences,
and being a beacon of hope because you're seeing how you're living and walking your life, that's where you go in from preacher to teacher.
And um, you become a teacher, and you stand in that power
of being able to lead by example. And that has always been my goal. I never, ever, 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 ever
want to be someone who is considered a hypocrite. And whenever I'm feeling that way, when things are kind of getting wonky and
I feel like a little like, I come to y'all and I say, hey,
right now I am weak and I am a mess, and there's no message in this mess right now. Allow me to work through this mess to show you
the message. But I am hoping that the messages
are not born of so much mess moving forward, right? Moving forward, I hope
that our messes get smaller, our messages get louder and prouder. I cannot wait to meet with some of you tonight. We are opening up our first round of brand ambassadors. And let me explain something about this. This is not for everybody. And if you're not selected to be a brand ambassador, please, please, please do not get your feelings hurt. Okay. This is going to require some work. It's going to require some time and some effort and some creativity. And I am going to be able to offer an exchange of edibles for work. So you'll be able to unlock a bunch of free treats to be able to help share this with other people. Now, when I say other people, if they're already here in the Grateful Fed, they're not other people. This is asking you to go out and help grow the brand. This is asking you to kind of be a disciple and to go out and to share the message outside of this group. You have to be comfortable with being out front about the fact that you use cannabis. You have to be able to be social media savvy. You have to be willing to go live and do videos and do fun social media posts. It's not just posting in this group. It will be some posting in this group.
There will be some opportunities for that, but this is going to be about helping grow the brand. It's time to take the message out. We want to eventually, as the world opens up and as cannabis becomes legal in all 50 states, our goal is to find hometown hippie places in every state in the country. I want hometown hippie elevated edibles to be synonymous with edibles, just like Duncan Hines is with cake mixes, right? I know the love and intentionality that we put into our foods. It is not just the magic that I bring to the mix. It is the magic this entire community brings to the mix. And I feel like the world needs to know about it. And I want to ask your help to help me grow that brand. Loud and proud to say the social media, I'll hit the streets. Good morning. I'm not sure who this is. This is Facebook user. Sheila, you're so silly. We can teach you though. I hear you, but I know. But come to the information sessions because you might be able to do the work without having to do it the way that. Here's what I'm learning, right? I'm learning that my way is not the only way. My way is not the best way when it comes to everything in the world. Now, when it comes to my food, when it comes to the kitchen, I'm not changing a daggone thing about that. Like, I don't even like front about that. I am divinely guided in the kitchen. I know that without a doubt. I am divinely guided in the kitchen. Are you coming at 10 to do some trim? You can do that, or you can wait till tomorrow. I usually don't do a lot of extra work today. I know Selena and Hank are coming to do a little trim this morning because I want to finish that bucket up, but that's where we're going to stop today because I've got meetings from noon to 3. I've got a meeting from 12 to 2 on retreat planning, and then from 2 to 3 I have a personal session that I do for healing that nobody can be here for. So everybody's got to be gone by 2 so that I can seal out the energy and I can do my session. I have a distance healing session that I do twice a month. But we have a lot of things coming up. Now, we also just had our weekend contest. I'm going to be going onto the website this morning right now, and the sale is ended. So if you want to get on some sales that you have not done yet, you want to go jump on that. Because when I get off of here this morning, I'm going to go I'm going to pick all those things up off of the website that are on sale, and the contest ended at midnight last night. So everybody who placed an order from Wednesday through last night at midnight, you're going to be entered to win a Fall in Love with Fall basket, a sampler basket. We'll draw for that the first Wednesday of the month as we do all of our prizes. Don't forget, we have lots of opportunities still left to win this fall. We're going to have an October contest coming up. I went to a festival this weekend and they had Delta 8 candy. Yeah, it was awful. Like buying from you, knowing there's fresh, pure ingredients. I want to tell you this. I do not touch Delta 8, Delta 9, any of that synthetic nonsense. When I tell y'all that my stuff is homemade, it is from scratch homemade. I take plant material and I do full spectrum. I turn it into tincture, honey, butter, oils, you name it. I take it from plant into the material, and then I cook all of your treats from flour, butter, and sugar. I sift everything. Everything is an intuitive cook. There's a lot that goes into it. Yes, I will tell you that I agree with that. I don't even try anymore. Delta 8 is just as bad as Big Pharma. Yep. They're trying to find a way to bastardize our plants, and I will not put $1 into supporting it. Just personally me. Not even for research purposes. I'm like, that's disgusting. I don't eat nerd ropes when they're not infused. I'm certainly not going to do that to myself now. I'm going to encourage y'all to know that everything that I do, if you're brand new here, number one, full spectrum, plant, farm to table. We get the plant and we turn it into the oils, and then we take the butters and we turn it into your food, right? Number two, everything is Reiki infused, which means there's God energy, there's light energy, there's life force, light healing, natural healing energy into every bite you take. I bless the bowls, I bless the pans,
All of my employees have to go through Reiki level 1. I will pay for one. Past that, they got to pay for themselves. But every one of my employees, when they pass over the 90-day mark, I invest in getting them Reiki 1 certified.
From the packaging to the ingredients gathering.
Everyone here is Reiki certified to put that love energy into your foods.
So it adds an extra layer of deliciousness to it. But on that note, we are going to go for the day. I'm really
trying to be good about keeping us to less than an hour. And I'm saying that at 40 minutes in because I do a Southern goodbye. Because I do a Southern goodbye.
And I'm going to say this about the sweet treats.
If you like pumpkin, I'm going to say this. If you like pumpkin,
the pumpkin doodle,
the pumpkin snickerdoodle cup cookies with the spiced cream cheese buttercream that I made. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. That is my 100%. That cream cheese recipe is 1,000,000% an intuitive buttercream recipe. I do not use a recipe for that. That is 100% mine.
I have a list of ingredient panel that has certain cinnamon and like certain things for love and protection and wisdom and health and vitality and abundance and all the different things you could ever want, right? Peace, love, happiness, right? When I make that cream cheese frosting, when I make that frosting, I am 1,000,000,000,000,000% in a zone, and it's just, I know, and it tastes the same every time. It's delicious, but it tastes the same. And I don't have to measure. I don't have to do anything. I can put 5 different ingredients in it, but it's going to have the exact, you're not going to know the difference. It just depends on what y'all need. And the ingredients that go into that, I'm going to tell you some of the things. It's got some cloves. It's got some, I could eat that frosting with a spoon. Yeah, you and me both. It's got ginger. It's got clove. It's got cinnamon. It's got nutmeg. It's got allspice. It's got vanilla, salt. It's got all the things in it. But when I tell y'all, like, I could too if I didn't want to get the diabetes, the diabetes. But I don't put a ton of sugar in that either. Like the regular buttercream with like cream cheese butter and all that, it calls for like 4 cups of powdered sugar, like confectioner sugar. I might put 2 cups in my frosting. I think that sometimes people make it like makes your teeth hurt sweet. I don't want to do that. I do it all to look and to texture. I have some. Fall is my most favorite time. We're coming into my season, which is Libra season, okay? And I have an idea, and the tools are on the way, but one of the reasons why I very much 100,000,000,000,000,000,000% love the kitchen, love being creating food. Food is my love language. Is because I enjoy creating food. I enjoy creating recipes. It is if somebody were to say to me, I want you to create me an intuitive dessert. That is my dessert. That is where I want to go into with the commercial building. I want to be able to like have you commission a like gourmet infused dessert that is 100% just from like a Reiki session, and then I'll create you food to go with it. I'm working on the idea of that. There's a lady that I found online, and she does intuitive artwork, and there's another lady who does intuitive tattoos, right? And what they do is they meet with you and they pull a card for you and they do a Reiki session. And then after that session, they go into a channeled, like they block off their room and they go in and they create, either they draw the tattoo, that they journal like a draw a tattoo, or they create a piece of art. They paint or whatever. Instead of journaling out what they heard, they do it in an artistic display of an artistic display. Like it's like this is your art. This is from your
session. This is your art, and it'll be named like just Destiny or something, right? And it's phenomenal how they do it, and I truly want to have one of those sessions. So I'm gonna ask for my birthday from my husband to find me to book a session for me to have this intuitive art done. That's what I want. I want things like that, things that mean something. That's what I want for my birthday from him. And I feel like when I was watching that, I felt very called to it. I'm like, I really, 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 part of what I love about creating, the thing that kept me so excited about this, why I feel like I'd never work a day in my life, is because I get to create new recipes all of the time. And if y'all can tell, when we get to like the end of the season, I'm like, oh, I need to create something new. And the next couple of months between Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, all of the holidays, all of the fall, winter, the activities, the parties, all of the things, my ability to be creative and create these amazing foods for people, I probably had to get sick to be able to get my foundation laid strong. Because the amount of, and I had to learn that it has to come from source, not from me, to be able to do this the way that I feel like it's going to explode. So, with that being said, be on the lookout for some new things, because you can give someone a gift certificate. Well, I will do a distance session with them. I will talk to them. We'll talk about their cannabis needs. I can book it with any of you that want to book it. And then what we'll do is I will then leave that session and create your own individual dessert. And then that will be like your medicine to use during when you're using meditations, when it'll be for you for that specific reason. And I'm assuming what God is telling me, what Source is saying, is that you'll know how to give them directions. Like they'll get directions from me when they get the food. And so we'll see how that works out. But more on that later. So I will be posting the Zoom link for tonight's meeting. We have 2 meetings, one tonight, one Wednesday night, for our brand ambassadors. We're going to talk through the ideas of it, the work group, how it's going to happen. If you're interested in becoming a brand ambassador, please let me know. You will get equal exchange of energy. I understand how that works, and I will make sure you all are hooked up. That's, it's interesting because I did channel that for our 420 Zoom. Everybody who was in that group, Marty, no, I don't, because whenever you're a cottage kitchen, you can't put meats, you can't cook with meats. So we're not doing that. I don't think that would be very good either, bacon and chocolate chips for me. But if God gives me a recipe for it, he gives me a channel message for it and says that's what Marty Boyer needs, and Marty Boyer wants to pay for a session, then I will certainly look at it. Now, I do have a recipe that I'm doing. I'm calling it Awaken Bacon, and that is a cinnamon roll that has a bacon pecan caramel maple topping that's baked on the top of the cinnamon roll, and that is called Awaken Bacon. And I created that in a dream, and that's been written down forever, waiting to make that when I get in my kitchen. So I'm going to be doing some more live videos. The other thing about the kitchen is that we can get some live videos going. So somebody's trying to be silly by calling my phone this time of morning. Okay. On that note, y'all, I'm really going to get off here, but I've got a snot ton of messages. I got a ton of orders I got to pull out. Everybody's coming to the house to start trimming. And on that note, as always, peace, love, and feast. And you know what to do. Stay elevated. I'll see y'all later. Have a good day.